following is a UTV-44 sports production.
Friday Night Rivals. This is the UA Early College UTV-44 Game of the Week. Sponsored by Mobile and Baldwin County Sheriff's Offices and the Drug Education Council.
The Saraland Spartans haven't been home since September 22nd, almost a month since they played here at home. 3 straight on the road and 4 of the last 5 away from Saraland, and they need some home cooking tonight. They need a region victory after a surprising loss last week to Baldwin County, but a tough matchup tonight as they take on the Spanish-born Toros. They sit atop the region unbeaten and only 1 loss on the year to open the season against McGill. Since then, they have won 6 in a row. Good evening, I'm Jim Cox. My partners Dan Brennan and Big Pocket here in our UTV-44 Game of the Week. And I think maybe the most telling little nugget we just got from Ben Blackman, Spanish sports coach, was saying how Jeff Kelly was going to have this Saraland team ready to play. He expects them coming out full tilt tonight.
You do, because this is a team like we were talking in our TV break about a half hour ago. The last time we saw them after a loss, we saw them beat Blunt 42-14.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they know how to prepare, and they know how to mentally get ready for a game, and they know how to compete.
Toros come in, as we said, winners of 6 in a row after that 1 loss. Offensively, everybody talks about the Toros, the way they're putting up so many points, but defensively, in lacrosse, there's a term for an offensive player called an attacker. Well, how about this guy? He's kind of an attacker on defense.
Well, he is a great lacrosse player. In fact, he just got a scholarship to St. Leo's College and in Florida to play lacrosse. Maybe one of the best lacrosse athletes in the area. Maybe one of the best athletes in the school, they tell us. And he's a tough kid. Peyton Tyson, he attacks. He's got 6 sacks on the year. And this is his first year of varsity football. He suited up as a freshman, concentrated on lacrosse after that. They said, please, can you come out? We think we can use you. Well, they're using him. He's a great player.
Yeah, they would have loved to have him on that team last year. And, of course, if he's going to be successful tonight, he's going to have to get after the quarterback. But the Spartans, they need Jack West to have another great game like he did last time we saw him on TV.
And he's very much capable of doing that. And your guy's going to need his big stick if he's going to stop him, because Jack West, what else can you say about him? Fantastic kid, one-in-a-generation quarterback. Got to give credit to Ann Michelle, his mother. Just brought him up well, done a great job with him. Take a look at his stats. They're just off the chart. He's 104, 164 for the year, 4 interceptions, and he's going to play in the Under Armour Classic football game, going to play in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. Best of all, he's #1 in his class academically. I mean, what else do you want? Well, there's more. He's going to Stanford, and he has aspirations to go to the White House. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, well, you have been playing on Sundays in about 6 years starting, and that's we
absolutely
heard that in the Blunt game.
Yeah, and he made some throws in that game though that really, even though we knew coming in, hey, Jack West is very good, but then you see him make throws like that we're looking at each other like, wow, that doesn't look like a high school game right there.
2 games this year, he's thrown for 4 touchdown passes. 2 other ones, he's had 3 touchdown passes, and that kid's got an arm kind of like Jack West there in the dunking booth. There is a chance Lockett's in there at the half. We'll tell you more coming up. Kickoff next, Spanish Fort and Saraland on UTV 44. 6A Region 1 matchup tonight, Spanish Fort and Saraland. The Toros, their offense is on a roll as of late, and for more on that, let's get onto the sideline with Tara Reeves.
They sure are, Jim. Spanish Fort is the only undefeated team in Region 1, and it's in large part because of their offense. The Toros have scored 42 or more points in their last 5 games, so I asked Coach Blackman, what's clicking for you offensively? He said senior quarterback Jack Samsel is really gaining confidence and consistency each week, and it's because the O-line is giving him the time that he needs to really sit in the pocket, survey the field, and read what's open. Now, it doesn't hurt that he has playmakers like Chris Drain, Dayton Reeder, and Jeremiah Hickson just lining up, waiting for the ball. So the short-handed Spartans are definitely going to have their hands full tonight.
Thank you, Tara. Matt Quinn to kick off, the junior. Pooches this one high to the far side. Taken at the 25 and out to the 27-yard line is Jay Williams. We'll see him a lot offensively tonight. Saraland hopes anyway. There is Jeff Kelly, 7th year here at Saraland. Other stops along the way, and of course played right up the road at Citronelle here. And this team has not missed the playoffs since 2010. They need a win here tonight to keep things going, because that loss last week to Baldwin County really surprising And if you end up with a situation where those two end up tied for that fourth spot, then Baldwin County would have a tiebreaker because of the head-to-head win.
You would have seen that coming after the Blunt game, right?
No. Jack West, senior quarterback. You see Brennan Sharp, leading tackler at the top of your screen there. And to give Kerry White, trying to get to the outside, dances the 25, turns the corner, and battles out to the 32-yard line. White, the leading rusher, 514 yards coming in tonight and 7 touchdowns. Good job to get away from the pressure in the backfield there and get it out to the 32. Up front, 4 seniors on the offensive line for Saraland: Mason, Dredden, Hall, Field, and Wallace. Dylan Blaylock replacing injured Andrew Booth, who went down a couple of weeks ago. Hughes starting to play better as well. Taylor, keep your eye on him. He was a little banged up last week. And Jay Williams coming on with 47 catches. Having a great year here for the Spartans, and play clock down to 5. They get it out to Vic Hughes, and he'll pick up just a few, and we'll bring up 3rd down here for the Saraland offense. 2-1 at home this year. The Spanish Fort defense giving up just 19 points a game. Cooks, Fitzgerald, and Destin Myers, who was our guest on the pregame show. Peyton Tyson, who's been all over the field this year. Dan talked about him there. Hoover, Colin, Nolan, and Duff. And then the secondary, DJ James, Brennan Sharp, Luke DeWeese, and Mike Miller. That secondary, the strongest part of this defense for the Spanish Fort Toros, and a completion out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. And Jack West able to get that one out to Daniel Taylor. Again, he was questionable coming in tonight, but that's his 24th catch of the season, and that's a long personal injury attorney's first down here for the Spartans.
Yeah, Jack and Harris recognized the blitz right from where they blitzed from. He threw to his receiver. I want to say he red hot, Jim, but that's a lot to ask of a high school football player.
Adam Cheney.
I would just say they got the first down.
They did that.
Checks into the backfield. This is the sophomore linebacker, and Cheney, 6 carries on the year. They like to bring him in a big package, but it looks like they're going to feature him more going forward here on the offensive side of the ball. Again, he's having a great year as a sophomore linebacker. 69 tackles on the year. Their leading tackler, and now they bring him in at tailback as well here on the opening series.
They've got a couple of really good sophomores in Cheney and McAlpine, too. They can both play linebacker and running back and give you really good snaps.
Gain of 3 on first down. West out to the far side. That was a little low, and Hughes had to go down to get it and kind of slowed up the rhythm a little bit. And as he did, he was brought down on the play, and Hughes with the stop. Brennan Sharp came up, leading tackler, fought off the block there. And when your safety's your leading tackler, sometimes that's a bit concerning, but that's not been the case for the Spanish Fort defense this year.
Well, sometimes if you're playing, it's according to who you're playing. You're playing a lot of offenses that pass the football, and there's a lot of downfield tackles. But typically in the 3 yards in a cloud of dust, that's not the stat that you want to see.
He started last year for the team as well. 3rd and 9 for the Spartans. West goes to Vic Hughes, and it goes through his hands. And over there was Peyton Tyson. Would have closed. It would have been tough to convert the first down. And Spanish Fort's defense comes up with a stop just shy of midfield.
West was on the money, all of his throws. They dropped that one right there, but you're right with Tyson there. And he just seems to be everywhere. That was not going to be a first down conversion anyway, but at least a little movement by Saraland and maybe flip the field. Let's see what they do with the punt.
Well, right away, you just recognize off the bat, even if you're a novice in football, just the discipline of Spanish Fort that they bring to the table every week with their defense making good fits and being where they're supposed to be.
Jeremiah Hickson back to return the Justin Harper punt. He calls for a fair catch, and he'll take it at the 17-yard line, and we'll see the Spanish Fort offense for the first time tonight. As Tara said, they've been putting up huge numbers as of late. Ranked number 5 in 6A. Went on the road last week and beat a 7A Foley team 49-14. They got BC Rain next week. Ben Blackman, 3rd year at Spanish Fort. 38-5 in the regular season, 41-5 is his overall coaching record. 31-4 in the regular season, 41-5, 7-1 in the playoffs. How about 20-1 in region games since he took over for the Toros? And
it's kind of like if he knows you, he'll beat you. Connor
Hagan, only team to beat him was Blunt last year since he's been the coach. Yep. Game we did. Betts, Wilson, Tuberville, Freeman, and Brown. They'll rotate in some others up front. Sotelo and Corson Swan, keep your eye on him. He's a good-looking player, but Chris Abrams-Drain, number 1, is the guy who makes it go on the outside. He'll play some quarterback. They'll put him in the backfield. He can do a lot of things. 2nd and 7. Jack Sampson on the inside, and Connor Hagan across the 30 to the 31-yard line, and that's going to mark him officially at the 30, but that's going to be enough for a long injury attorney's first down. Hagan, 570 yards coming into tonight on 92 carries, an average of 6.2. Saraland defense do it. Williams and Corey Wilson. Wilson 5 sacks on the year. Linebackers Milner, Sullivan, McAlpine, and Adam Cheney, their leading tackler. Hughes, Trent Williams, Rendale Hinton, who's our guest on the pregame show, and Cordell Flott, the other corner. To the near side, Abrams-Drain in the backfield. A little side step to pick up a few. See the explosiveness that he has, just a sophomore, and he's a lot of talent. He's taken 179 yards on a reception for a touchdown this year. That is 33rd catch of the year.
Well, Big Lock, I can tell you this is a team game, and I think that was Cheney at linebacker that turned that play back in. He didn't make the stop, but he kept it from being something big.
Yeah, absolutely, you got to get out there when they throw that quick pass out there and help out.
2nd and 6. Dayton Reeder with his first touch tonight is going to pick up 5, and it'll bring up 3rd and short. And you see Corson Swan, look like he, top of your screen, number 10 there, might have got a little bit banged up on that play, but Reeder, he's another one who comes in and he averages over 8 yards a carry. 3rd and very short.
Giving him some room up front. Big Grant Betts, 6'4", 271-pound left tackle, pulling around there, making some room for him.
He's one of the best linemen you'll see all year long. And they go to Abrams-Drain with a quick pitch off to Reeder. And Reeder's got a first down and a whole bunch more as he is into Saraland territory to the 39.
Right there again, you know, I was wondering while Grant was blocking down, but it was a kind of a counter play, and he just lays on his guy right there and cleans it out, gives him that space right there in that 6 hole for him to, that 7 hole for him to cut it up and get some yardage.
Long injury attorney's first down, and the Toros on the move. Inside the 40, Samsel on the year. He's thrown over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. 170 yards a game for the senior quarterback. Over on the far side, Jeremiah Hickson with the catch, trying to slip away from the tackle, but a great job to hold on. Doug Sullivan, his 4th tackle for a loss on the season.
That's the reward risk of running that tunnel screen sometimes. When you try to run that thing and then bring it all inside, thinking those linemen and folks are going to get out there and sweep some folks over to the sideline. Well, if the team is running defensively, that's what can happen right there. Turn out to be a big loss there.
Yeah, after so much momentum offensively they had going forward, suddenly one big play going backwards.
Sullivan, 2nd leading tackler for the Spartans. Samsel over the middle, wide open. Abrams-Drain able to come up with a catch and more for the touchdown. 47 yards.
Well, how about that? 2 steps backs and 10 steps forward.
No kidding.
Touchdown.
5 touchdown receptions on the year.
Deep post pass right there, wide open. He just cut it up, and all he had to do was look it in.
Once he got it, nobody going to catch the young sophomore.
Yeah, right here. The only thing that's going to get him is the turf monster, and he was too quick for that right there. He already got him showing him his tail lights.
10th touchdown pass of the year for Samsel, and Quinn is good. And Spanish Fort on their first possession, they go down and get the touchdown, and they lead by a score of 7-0 here in Saraland. 6A1 region matchup tonight on UTV 44. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kihas in the truck. Daniel Hicks, our statistician, and our entire crew here. UTV 44 getting us set up here tonight. And boy, this is a big play on that drive, that 3rd down and very short. And Ben Blackman, he'll draw some things up that'll make a defensive coordinator scratch his head. And then when you got an athlete like that to get the ball to, it helps. 83 yards on just 7 plays. Our Mobile Regional Airport scoring summary. And Matt Quinn sends this one. Jay Williams, his momentum did take him back into the end zone. He brings it out, and Williams across the 10 and out to the 19-yard line.
Well, see, I thought any way you end up in the end zone, that is dead ball. Explain that.
But I think you were saying if the momentum carries it in, then you can
return it.
Then you can bring it up because he caught it outside of the end zone when they carried him back in there.
He did a great job of getting it out to the 19, didn't he, Vic?
Yeah, he did. I thought it was a bad decision, and I didn't even think it was going to be live, but he got it out. You know, speaking about Jack West, I tell you, we got to give some credit to Jack Samuel making some nice touch passes for Spanish Fort to get that first touchdown on their first series.
Pretty talented quarterback, too.
Yeah, he can play.
Coach's son knows a lot about the game. Jalen Pugh, the junior, checks in at running back right there to the right of Jack West. Looking downfield. Now he'll come to Pugh out of the backfield. Pugh makes a great move at the 20 and out to the 25 to the 27-yard line as Ryan Duff was in good position. But boy, then Pugh with this great move to get open here.
Well, we find out there's no good position against Pugh. If you think you're in good position,
yep, we'll do that. Says, excuse me for a second, and I'm going around you this way.
Pickup of 9 on first down. Come back, give it the inside, and Cheney across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Another long injury attorney's first down.
Yeah, what Coach Kelly did that time, he got him in a pass-looking offense and then ran the football out of it. You know, you got this passing quarterback. You're probably expecting a lot of passes, but hey, look, we've got Pugh back here. We can give him a few sprint draws and let him make some moves.
And you'll also see them in a pro set that looks like a run and play action out of that.
From the 42, West goes right back off to Adam Cheney, and Cheney, sophomore, with another long injury attorney's first down to the 39-yard line. 17 yards on the game.
It looks like Coach Kelly got them on their heels right here. They don't know what's going to come at them, whether they're going to drop back with Jack West or they're going to come with these running backs.
Cheney 6'2", 210. Coming at you.
Good-looking kid, yeah. He brings the wood, doesn't he?
You talk about just a sophomore.
Yeah.
Go right back to him on the left side, and a nice hole. Now he cuts it back the other way, and Cheney inside the 20, all the way down inside the 10. First and goal, Sparty.
I didn't know he had to weave in him like that as a big dude, huh?
He's got a lot of game. And when the end of those runs, the thing I'm always thinking about, Jim, is ball security. You know, you can have a great run, and all of a sudden you get a little loose with the ball, and
changed hands there to avoid the contact.
Yeah.
Long injury attorneys. First and goal now here.
Sparty not too shaken up by that long touchdown by Spanish Fort.
And looks like, you know, they're not just going to put it all on Jack. Hey, we can run it on the ground as well.
Taylor in the slot. Looking fired, incomplete as they were trying to get that one off to Dylan Blaylock. Blaylock replacing Andrew Booth, who such a loss in the Murphy game. Great receiver for this Saraland team.
He had a great game in the Blunt game that we did earlier. Booth was outstanding.
Yeah, just really liked watching that young man. And, of course, Coach Kelly had just wonderful things to say about him before the game. And second and goal from the 10. West gives it off. Cheney with a couple hard-earned yards there.
Yeah, he cut it right up there in that A gap when I think he should have just kept veering it out there to the B gap. Press that hole a little bit wider, he might be still running.
Third and goal.
Well, he's getting his cardio in tonight.
And it's early yet.
You're probably not going to take him off many snaps defensively either. When he's your leading tackler, you're going to keep him out there on that side of the ball. Williams, 47 catches to the top of the screen. Let's see if West looks that way. He is. Fires a bullet. Touchdown, Saraland.
Nice job, man. He drew the flag as well. Stuck his hands out there on that slant. Caught it all football. Had he not, if he tried to let it get into his body, the defender would have had an opportunity.
Yeah, you can see the trust that the coaching staff, look at that throw, the coaching staff has in that player, and the chemistry and trust that Jack West has in number 5 as well, Taylor.
It's going to be a penalty there against Saraland. Against Spanish Fort. They'll take that on the kickoff. And Justin Harper, 28 of 28 on the year on the PAT. But going back to that pass, Vic, just only person that had a chance to catch it is your wide receiver.
Otherwise, you had to go through the receiver to do it, which he did, and he got penalized.
Yep. Big answering drive there by Saraland. They go down and now have knotted this game up with 3:17 to go in the opening quarter. Saraland and Spanish Fort tonight here on UTV 44. Here on UTV 44, living up to its billing early on. Boy, so many great games going on around our area tonight. Daphne on top of Blunt 7-0. UMS leading Thomasville 7-0. McGill 13-0 over Baker. And no score to report yet between St. Paul's and Viger for the region championship, just down the interstate here a little ways. Kickoff will come from the 45 for Justin Harper after the penalty on the touchdown. What an answering drive. Really exactly what Saraland needed after that long 83-yard drive from Spanish Fort to open it up.
You don't want to get too far behind those guys from Baldwin County, because usually they stretch it out if they get too far in the lead.
And Harper goes with the onside kick, and it's recovered by the Toros.
Good job by the Toros.
Wow.
Good job by the coaching staff to have them ready.
Yep. Brennan Sharp, and you could see Justin Harper, the kicker, was very disciplined not to touch it because it was right there and wanted to try to get it 10 yards.
That was a great decision. It really was. I mean, okay,
they get it right there, you don't lose anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Here was the completion of the backfield, and Jalen Pugh kind of got that drive going. Then they go to Adam Cheney with a 17-yard run there. And then this was the long one, lumbering down the near sidelines and got it to the 10. And then on third down, the touchdown pass from West to Jay Williams.
Jay there.
7-7.
Now we know why Williams has got all the catches on the air, because he can catch the ball.
That's
really
kind of important.
Yeah.
Pre-snap infraction here on the Toros.
Prior to snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
First and 15 back at the 31.
That's my guy Billy Pine right there.
And here come the Toros. Spartan showing a little blitz. Give it off. Reeder cuts it up the middle, and Reeder picks up 11. And Saraland, they've dealt with some injuries here this season, and that's talked about Dylan Booth going down, lost Ty Bunch, and another one this week. Tara's down on the sidelines. Tara.
That's right. As you were mentioning, Ty Bunch and Andrew Booth were lost earlier in weeks prior. Now, Larson Hall, they're doing without him as a lineman. And this past Saturday, he was building a shooting house on his family's hunting land. They were building the tin roof. A board broke. The tin fell. He went to grab it. The tin sliced right through his left bicep. He's going to be out for the remainder of the season. But I spoke with him before the game, and he said that his team has been busting their tail all week at practice. They definitely deserve this.
It was just such a fluky accident for that young man. It was I mean, he was very lucky.
No, it could have been much worse.
It could have been a lot worse than missing a football season.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a blessing he's alive.
Yeah, boy. Yep. And so hopefully he's able to keep his spirits up for the rest of the year. Now 3rd and 6 for Saraland. They fake it to Reeder. Samsel with pressure coming. Samsel dumps it off, and it's going to be incomplete. Pressure coming from the edge, and Michael Milner was right there, and Spanish Fort's going to have to punt.
Yeah, that was an all-out jailbreak there. They were trying to set the screen up off of it, but the pressure came from the opposite side of the screen and just rushed his pass much faster than he wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah, good job by Samsel to get that one off and not take that sack, which would have been a huge loss. So Ryan Duff on to kick, and Jay Williams stands back at the 25. Super high kick by Duff, and Williams will call for the fair catch at the 23-yard line. Saraland will come back out here as you're just joining us. We talked about that surprising loss last week. Saraland 15-14 loss to Baldwin County. And Baldwin County, a program on the rise without question. And, you know, they were down by 1 and decided we're going to go for the win, go for 2, and they get the win late in that one and hand Saraland their second loss of the year, second region loss as well. And that's what put this one, and we were really looking at this one a few weeks out. And now, you know, it's still a huge game, but even more so for Saraland tonight.
Yeah, boy, those 2 region losses, the Daphne game because of the kickoff returns, and then the comeback by Baldwin County going for 2, so they could easily be undefeated at this point, as well as having 2 losses.
Jack West gives it off to Cheney, who just runs over someone in the hole before Sharp brings him down.
Yeah, he hits it up there in there with some authority. He is bringing it with him when he comes. Take a look at it again here. Right there. He just says, hey, this is big-time high school football. Nice to meet you.
He looked every bit of a starting linebacker on that carry.
Yeah, linebacker on defense, and
picks up 3 there on first down.
Yeah, big running back on this side of the ball.
Jack West looks on, little play fake, looking right. Fires it off to his left hand. Able to get Daniel Taylor hold on to that one. He did.
Makes it a good 3rd and manageable. That ball traveled a long way, Dan. Died a little bit on him, but he still got it there and completed.
You just watched Jack West's feet, his release, his delivery, all these things that, you know, mean something.
Sure.
I mean, he's pretty to watch.
That comes from a lot of hard work. You know, one little tidbit I meant to mention is that he was a black belt at 5 years old.
Wow.
That's unreal, isn't it?
All right. You got a little Jackie Chan at quarterback.
Cheney on the left side, and Saraland's defense, or Spanish Fort's defense, stops him short of the stick there.
There's my guy in the middle of it.
Yep, Carlos Johnson over there too. Carlos Johnson, 5'11", 260.
Yeah, no decision here for Coach Kelly. He's going to have to punt it out of here.
Peyton Tyson. Dan highlighted him in the pregame show.
I think if he'd been playing football all this time, he would be certainly a college prospect in this game.
Yeah, 2 sports star, football and lacrosse. Not always a combination that you see of 2 sports stars.
Well, I heard Jim Brown did that.
He did do that and was very dominant in both.
That's what I heard. I said, yeah, I've always heard the thing as a saying was Jim Brown with a big stick. That's crazy.
They will just let the clock run off here, and they'll punt to. No, they're going to. Oh, wow, the snap came. The Spanish Saraland was not expecting that to come at all, and now it checks all the way up to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, he turned his back to the line of scrimmage to field it.
Well, they were going to let the clock. There was 2 seconds difference between the play clock and the game clock, and so Saraland was
communication to the center.
Yeah, they were just going to let
the memo.
They were just going to let the clock run out and punt it to start the second quarter. And great job by Justin Harper to go almost one-hand grab that snap to at least get it off. Wow, strange play to end the first quarter. 7-7. 6A Region 1 matchup. Spanish Fort and Saraland tied, and the Toros with great field position to start the second quarter coming up.
The Farmers Insurance Agency, Lance Bledsoe.
Good crowd as always here in Saraland. 2 programs similar? Their fan base, the stadium, how you get in and out of the games, like you were talking about on the pregame show?
Yeah, and basically the same color schemes, too, and the same, in many regards, the same type of players, too. Don't you think, Vic?
Yeah, similar. They just got it and been doing it a little bit longer,
Yep.
a little bit more perfected across the bay. But I think they've got something going here. It's going to be interesting next year, post Jack West, to see if they can continue to trend. But we've seen tonight he's got some answers with some young running backs.
He does. Young running backs, linebackers, and a tradition now of winning in Saraland.
That play at the end of the first quarter there, I mean, the sidelines, Saraland side, they were not expecting the team to punt the ball.
And to be snapped, even the ball to be snapped.
Justin Harper, the punter, certainly wasn't expecting it either, and it ends up the punt goes in 11 yards. But credit Harper for grabbing that snap and just getting up. Look, he was heading off the field. He's
Unreal.
like, this is it. We're not going to do it. Penalty marker in the backfield, wide open. Hickson, touchdown. Samsel, but let's see. Illegal shift against the Toros. Wow, 45-yard pass, and there wasn't anyone between here and Chickasaw around Hickson. He was wide open.
And Coach Blackman, he probably had that play called. They worked on it all week, and they were going to catch him with
Billy
the
Pond.
fans down.
Wow.
And it's rare that we see his team then come out there and execute the play that he draws up. So,
and if you're a coach, you hate to burn that play.
Sure.
And have it, come back like that.
Yeah. But it's high school ball. He still could. I think he can still fool him again later on.
Well, first and
NFL, no.
First and 15. Samson with the pitch. Hagan up the far sideline, and Hagan has a first down and more to the 28-yard line, gain of 22.
Man, you got to give Corson Swan some credit out there, that wideout. He put his helmet in the chest of a defender and just blocked to open that thing up for him. You want to see him right there.
Right, there it is.
Just almost a pancake by a wideout, Dan.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen that.
6'4", 206 wideout. Yeah.
Exactly. He's a big wideout, big athlete, and on this Spanish 14, you do what they ask you to do.
Or you don't play.
Or you don't play.
Long injury attorneys. First down for the Toros here. Samsel, far side, wide open again. He's able to get it to Swan, who had a great block, and now he's got it first and goal at the 2.
How about a reward for him for doing the job when he doesn't have the football? They say, hey, well, how about a little bone for you right here? We'll throw it to you, set him up. We'll lose you back there in the backfield, and you got a chance to score, young man.
Yeah, I think he was almost like an H-back set, and they just lost him.
They mark him out of bounds at the 9, so he did step down on the sideline. They're still long injury attorneys. First and goal here for the Toros. Under center, Samsel gives it off to Hickson on the far side, and Hickson going to be roped down and thrown back at. Maybe got one, but not much more, as Trent Williams, the safety, came up and replacing his, Tara mentioned, Todd Bunch lost for the year, their starting safety, and Williams, the junior, comes over there to make that stop, and he came a long way to make that tackle.
Yeah, he did a good job just playing it inside out. He knew he probably had one of these backs or receivers, and he just followed him right there till he lost real estate and say, hey, I'll tackle you.
No gain on the play. Abrams Drain is split out one-on-one to the bottom of the screen. They go Reeder to the goal line. And he's in for the touchdown.
Yeah, I thought he was in there. That was a nice clean out again. They just kind of fold these guards around, Dan, and it just creates some space in the middle, and these backs just have places to run.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a big win up front, right, Vic? I mean, that was just a dominant run performance by that line on that play.
I think it was my man Hunter Freeman coming around there.
And Hagan had a block on there. Swan, another one as well. And Reeder with his 5th touchdown. And the Toros trying to make it 14-7. And
wow, they're going to have to go in the woods to get the ball over there. They're going to need a hunter.
They got a young man who just went out the back gate, and I don't think he's going to be, we'll see if he can dig that one up. That went way back there.
Jim, that ball would be gone forever. I'm not fooling with those snakes back there.
I'm with you, Vic Lockett. 14-7 Toros take advantage of a short field to regain the lead here on the UTV 44 Game of the Week. Saraland tonight, 14-7. The Toros just regain the lead. Mention all the other big games going on tonight. Great one. 5A region championship on the line. St. Paul's and Viger playing right down the interstate here. That one's scoreless after one. Viger starting the year 0-3. And now Derek Scott and crew have really got it going in the right direction. A chance to win the region tonight.
Got a tall order playing against St. Paul's.
Matthew Quinn.
Wow.
Big kick and all the way into the end zone. Chase back there was Jalen Pugh. So on this drive, great field position to start. Remember, they would have had an easy touchdown on first down, called back with a penalty, but Connor Hagan, after getting a good block from Corson Swan, Vic said they throw him a bone. Swan, wow, they marked him back at the 9. Looked like he stayed in there, but they scored as Reeder was able to go and get his 5th touchdown of the year. Just takes 4 plays to go 45 yards. Our Mobile Regional Airport scoring summary. And at the 20, Saraland brings the offense back out. And that short punt miscommunication gave Spanish Fort the short field. Those are the things that maybe don't show up on the stat sheet that really hurt you in a game like this, and be a penalty against Saraland. Back them up 5.
Scooter out there at the line, judge dropping his flag, saying something about some movement. Former McGill, outstanding football player.
Saraland is off next week. And they played 4 of their last 5 on the road, 3 in a row on the road. Went to Murphy, Gulf Shores, and Baldwin County. I love when you hear the coaches. I love when you hear a little of that with what they're thinking pre-snap.
Well, as long as they keep it clean.
West to Vic Hughes, and Brennan Sharp trying to strip it out of there as he was stood up by one of his teammates, and Sharp, starting safety, was just in there trying to strip that ball
Good illustration
away from
gang
Hughes.
tackling as well. I think there was at least 8 players over there for sure.
We got a lot of quick stuff in this offense. A lot of passes that are, as they would say, an extension of the run game. You know, pretty much
long handoffs,
little screens, little tosses out to the corner where your opening guy just makes a play.
Loss of 4.
Jack West can do more than that, by the way.
Gain of 1, I should say, after 1st and 15. They come out, Daniel Taylor to the 20, and then a flag comes in after Taylor made a cut up the field. And where that one is, you would expect that's coming back on a hold there.
Scooter hear me call his name, now he wants to start the flag fest.
And Ben Blackman says back him up.
Holding on the offense. Half of this is a goal. 2nd down.
So, Dan, you think they're going to just kind of lull them to sleep with these east and west passes and then, you know, let Jack look out there and then somebody's running a post?
Well, I think you
throw it deep.
You can see anything because Jack West allows you to
utilize the whole field, huh?
Yeah, but you also have got to block, and you've got to set up this defense with not just pinning their ears back and coming after West, because that's not going to help anything. And especially if you want to throw it long, you've got to have protection to stretch the field too.
Yeah, and that chess match works well against a disciplined defense like Spanish Fort.
Yeah, but when you've got Jack West and some weapons, if you can get some blocking, your whole playbook is available.
Yeah.
2nd and 22, and probably the best secondary Saraland will see all year. Secondary here at Spanish Fort. Yeah, I mean
they're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean you got James back there, Sharp, Miller, and DeWeese, who
which kind of says, you know, exactly what I'm thinking. They better trick them a few plays and set them up for stuff they can catch them with later, because otherwise just mano a mano is going to be tough sledding just to beat them, huh?
Well, you know, they did establish the run on that scoring drive, which surprised us a little bit that they were able to gash them that way. So that's going to be really important too. But this is a scent of disaster right here.
Yeah, back at the 8-yard line, 2nd and 22. Toros only rushed 3. West fires it in between 5 white jerseys. He was trying to get it to Daniel Taylor there.
Yeah, I don't know if he was trying to get the deeper receiver or the guy coming across. So either way, it wasn't successful. So they're really in a deep hole here. Coach Kelly, I think, probably will play it safe and going to run some kind of sprint draw.
I wouldn't be surprised. You could even see Jack West, who's so consistent with his delivery, kind of dial up a little extra mustard on that one. Because like you were saying, Jim, he was trying to squeeze it in there.
Spanish Fort defense with 18 takeaways on the year, 10 fumble recoveries, and 8 interceptions. Come Jay Williams. Great open field tackle there as Williams tried to get away, try to stiff arm, and just nowhere to go as he was pulled down. Ryan Duff grabbed a hold of him and held on, and gain of 2.
It's like what Vic talks about the McGill defense, too. Not only they fit in the right spot, they don't let you go.
No, they don't.
They make tackles.
They cover, as you like to say, every blade of the grass out there. They defend it.
Ruff, Duff, the second leading tackler for this Toro team. Harper from his end zone booms this one, goes over the head of Hickson, takes a high hop. Will Hickson grab it? You know, they just can't help themselves sometimes, and he does at the 40, and he'll be brought down there. It went over his head and then had a lot of top spin on it, so it came back a bit, and should I? And then Hickson does, and he doesn't get much, but good field position again for Spanish Fort.
Yeah, he got caught in that gray area. What should I do? What should I do? Peter or not? And just like you say, Jim, they can't help themselves. They want to make a play, so he decided to go ahead and try to make something out of it.
Up at the 41-yard line. Here for Spanish Fort, Toros, winners of the state championship in 2010, 12, 13, and 15. That 15 team, first year under Coach Ben Blackman, went 15-0. Welcome to Spanish Fort, Ben Blackman.
Boy, they were close last year, too.
Yep. Lost to Opelika, to his brother. Now they fake it and they give it off to Reeder. Reeder with a little space, slips a tackler and up to the 49-yard line. He'll gain 8. Hinton was out there, and Reeder's a weapon as well. All right, let's go back down to Tara for another sideline report. Tara.
Guys, as you know, during the NBA kickoff game with the Celtics and the Cavs, Gordon Hayward went down just 6 minutes into the first quarter with a complete break of his left ankle. Tyrone Prothro experienced almost the exact same injury in 2005 when he was playing with Alabama. It ended his college career, and he was unable to play in the NFL. I spoke with him before the game about any advice that he would give Gordon. He said, when you're doing rehab, do everything they tell you times 10. Don't rush anything, but mentally, you'll be able to get back out there and play if you know that you can.
As one of the most deafening collective hushes you've ever heard fall over a stadium when that injury happened to Tyrone Prothro.
And the other night, too.
Yeah, Reeder. Reeder stopped. And I'll bring up second down here. Yeah, just awful. You know, they had one great shot, not of the injury, but of the Cavaliers bench was looking on, and you just saw how they responded, and you knew how bad it was.
I'm glad I did not see
it.
You
know,
I didn't choose to
and I didn't go back
seek that out.
No.
Second and 9 here for the Toros as we approach the halfway point of quarter number 2. Samsel looking over the middle of the field, and Abrams Drain pulls it down to the 31, gain of 13, and long injury attorney's first down, possibly. We've got a flag over on the Toros sideline.
Well, if it stands, I tell you what, Drain this football into his body and prepared for the hit. It looks like it's going to come back, but it was a nice highlight to review anyway.
Yeah. Well, he's just a sophomore, and the cupboard isn't bare up at Spanish Fort in the years to come. We talked about Saraland sophomores.
When hasn't been bare?
Right. That's Billy Pine here.
Ineligible man downfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remain second down.
I mean, they have just been a football dynasty waiting to happen in a shell. And the shell is open, and somebody's opened Pandora's box, and they have just put string together some championships there.
Yep. Win 4 in 5 years, and just an injury, and most likely may have kept you from the other one there.
It was 4 and 5 years under 3 different coaches, wasn't it?
Samsel steps up Now he's going to pull it down. He doesn't do this a lot. He's going to get inside the 40 to 39. You heard Jeff Kelly was calling for a holding flag. None there.
Good decision by the quarterback to take off with it, Dan.
Yeah, and he's a big, strong kid, and when it comes down to contact, he doesn't have to shy away because look at his size.
He ain't afraid of anybody, is he?
He doesn't have to be.
He can take my lunch money.
3rd and 2. The shotgun, Samsel. Looks back over to Coach Blackman.
Spanish Ford really crowding the line. Really crowding the line.
Play clock down to 5. Samsel steps up looking, wants to go over the top for Hickson, and it's nearly intercepted as Hughes was back there. And you had Hickson and Abrams Drain both coming together. Now,
they're saying it's a completion. I thought the ball hit the ground. Well, let's take a look and see.
Wow.
Wow, what a catch.
That's
so
a great,
far.
Yeah.
In the crowd.
Wow. They give it to Reeder. Reeder looking for his 2nd touchdown tonight. I think it's coming back with a hold. I apologize. I didn't think he made the catch.
I did not. You know, we probably got the helmet confused for the ball. Just a dark something on the ground.
That was an amazing catch.
It was. He went down low and cradled it. Just what you do if you have to.
A holding call there against the Toros wipes out the touchdown. That's 2 touchdowns taken off the board tonight.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
And you have the 2 receivers there and the 2 defenders as well.
Yeah, it looks like it was going to be an interception by 2 defenders.
Right.
But the receiver ended up catching it.
Samsel drops it right in the basket there.
Yeah.
All the way back to the 22, 1st and goal. Long injury attorneys, 1st and goal from the 22. Swan shifts over to the far side, and they go Abrams Drain out of the Wildcat. Looking to cut it to the inside, and now goes back toward the outside, and no gain on the play. Good job by the Saraland defense on there. Drain's such a weapon.
Yeah, they didn't give him any room to work with there. They just kind of played it all to the boundary and turned it back out until he ran out of real estate, and then they just say, hey, sit down right here, we'll tackle you.
Boy, Hunter Freeman was all the way downfield. He was inside the 10 blocking, and
got a little extracurricular with it, huh?
Yeah, there seemed to be some objection to contact right around the whistle. That happens.
2nd and goal coming up. Now they go back with Samsel. Abrams Drain to the top of the screen. Hagen over to the left. Samsel looks wide open. Hagen's got it. Dives to the pylon. He's going to be out at the 3. Wow. 17-yard pickup. Samsel.
It looks like he back shouldered it, and then he tried to pivot all the way around to extend it across the goal line, and just wasn't able to do it there. Still a great effort by that kid there.
Yeah, now you got 3rd and goal from the 3 after you were 1st and goal all the way back at the 22.
And I don't think that was a back shoulder on purpose. That's where it just ended up.
Yeah. That's why I said that was a great athletic play by that kid.
Something
collected and then turn around and try to score.
I don't think Spanish Fort.
Somebody spent a timeout, I think.
I thought, well, no, I don't think so, because I thought they were just, maybe because there was something with Jeremiah Hickson's uniform. No, they didn't take a timeout, so the play clock now
Coaches
starts.
Are certainly maximizing that opportunity. They brought the whole football team and had the staff to meet him and talk to him.
Something about Hickson's uniform had to come off, so he gets replaced. And now Samson will keep it. Quarterback draw, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. As the sophomore we talked about, Adam Chaney carrying the ball tonight. That time he carried the 6'3" Samsel down for a loss of 1.
Well, that's called attacking the football when you don't have it, and he did a good job. The tackle pulled around there and just kind of didn't take him. You know, here he comes right there. You know how you want those kids to take first threat, but he missed 2 of them and didn't give him a good block there, and so he was all alone with 2 tackles.
Hey, there's a chance they may point that out in the film room.
Good job by Saraland to hold him to a field goal attempt.
He doesn't pull it down and run a lot, and Quinn will try this one from 20. And Matt Quinn has got it. And so it's a 17-7 lead. Spanish Fort had a touchdown taken off on a holding call. They come away with 3, but they build their lead to 10 here in the second quarter with 3 minutes to go on the UTV 44 Game of the Week. Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kihas in the truck, and our entire crew here. We just watched Spanish Fort take almost 5 minutes off the clock, going 49 yards. 9 plays, our Mobile Regional Airport scoring summary. Matt Quinn with a field goal. They had the touchdown taken off on the holding call. Spanish Fort's Matt Quinn with a high kick. This one will be just a little short of the goal line, so Williams will take it at the 5. And he'll get up, look at him to the 20, and that will be where we'll see Jack West and crew come out. Let's go down to the sideline for a Coastal Alabama Community College Educator Spotlight with Tara.
Thank you so much, Jim. I'm with Spanish Fort Principal Brian Williamson. And Mr. Williamson, of course, you guys have a new wing and something I'm excited about, a new gym. As a former basketball player at Spanish Fort, tell us about that.
Yeah, it's something we're very excited about. It's much needed in our community. We've pretty much outgrown our school. Our current gym, I think, holds around 600 people. Our school enrollment's over 1,100 now. So when we have pep rallies and events like that, we have totally outgrown it. So it's much needed. As far as the classroom space, we're building a new 24 classroom wing on the back of our school. Right now, we currently have 11 portables, plus we also have 2 teachers that float throughout the school. So it's a much needed addition and been a long time coming.
Yes, and I'm really excited about the growth, but then let's talk about athletics specifically. The Toros are really having a stellar football season, but let's talk about the Toros athletics in general.
Absolutely. We're very fortunate in our community. We've got our students have such a good work ethic and determination. The good thing about our students, when they step on the field, they don't believe that they can lose. And it doesn't matter how athletic they are. They just feel like every time they're on the field, they're going to win. So it's been very fortunate for us. We've also got great coaches who really have worked well with our kids, and it's allowed us to be successful over the years.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
On 2nd and 10, west of the far sideline. Yeah, it's almost as if that's a growing community over there. Talking about Spanish Fort, right? How
There's
big.
no doubt it is. I mean,
adding 21 new classrooms on to the high school.
I mean, amazing. And again, the school not that old.
No.
And Baldwin County just continues to grow. And I think that in that county now, the talk is you've got the high school coming to Alberta, right? Yep. And maybe more structures and schools to come.
3rd and 2 for the Spartans. The Stanford commit waits the snap. Looks right side, fires it off and dropped. And then a late flag. That's going to be helmet-to-helmet contact, and it came really late. And Jay Williams was when I saw it, maybe that was going to be a flag coming. And it was, the flag was over on the, coming from the Spanish Fort side, so it wasn't as if the coaches were calling for it on that side, but it at first glance, it looked like that might have been an infraction.
Talking it over with some of his friends now. Let's see what we see.
Yeah, it was just a quick slant there, and helmet to helmet on the other teammates, Freddie Fry.
Yeah, and let's see if they wave it off. And you have the Jumbotron here that has our broadcast on it.
So you hear a reaction from the crowd.
So they picked up the flag and waved it off, which was the right call to make. The officials had huddled together. They weren't waiting on the replay. But they made the right.
But it was available if they wanted to.
Yeah, but they made the right call on that one.
Yeah, they didn't have to look under the hood or look at the little screen there.
4th and 2 from your own 28, and Jeff Kelly says we're going to go for it. He feels like might have to win this one in a shootout now. I think he's going to take a timeout and
rethink this
Well,
thing.
yeah, I was just thinking maybe he's thinking, well, all right, we're going to go in a
Try to draw him offside?
Or just think, hey, we got to win in a shootout. It's so early. But it takes a timeout, and now you would guess the punt team will come on. And I wonder if Coach Kelly also thinking maybe he wanted to have a little talk about the call with the crew. Theodore with a win last night over Bryant, 31-7. The Fairhope Pirates keep rolling along, 46-26 winners last night. Floor beats Robertsdale, Davidson, and Jackson tonight. Up in Jackson, McGill, Tulin, and Baker. McGill on top in that one. Foley all over Mary Montgomery, 7-3. Daphne leads Blunt right now. Baldwin County, BC Rain, St. Paul's, and Viger scoreless after one. The last score that we got there. UMS on top of Thomasville in that big 4A matchup tonight. That's 16-14. Citronelle and Williamson, Wilcox County, Wilcox Central, and Faith tonight. Escambia County and Carroll. Mobile Christian down early to Clark County in that one. Flomaton and Excel, while Washington County taking on St. Luke's tonight. St. Luke's up 14-7 in that game. Millry and Sweetwater. And Fruitdale and J.F. Shields round off the schedule tonight. So that's such a fast-moving game. Good chance to get our trivia question here. All right, so what Alabama high school coach has won the most games over any 10-year period? As long as they've been playing football, you take 10 years, pick any 10 years you want. What coach has the most win in a 10-year period?
Wow. You know, you got to think about who has stayed somewhere for 10 years as well.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be with one school.
Ah, okay.
Can be just a coach coaching anywhere in Alabama, 10 years.
Okay, you make it even more difficult, Jim. I'm going to PE.
And the punt team does come out. Here, Justin Harper will stand at his 15. Jeremiah Hickson back toward his own 30 to receive this one. Harper has a big leg. He was booming him in warm-ups. Goes with a line drive here, and Hickson at the 31. Hickson, he's taken 2 back for touchdowns this year, and he's up the near sideline. Hickson makes a tackle or breaks one at the 45 and gets up to the 42-yard line. And again, boy, this field has been tilted all night in favor of Spanish Fort.
Yeah, once you saw it was a line drive punt, you thought, uh-oh, Hickson can do something with this. We've seen him.
As DJ James kind of got some pressure in on Harper, kind of forced him to get it off a little quicker than he would have liked.
Long snapper Maddox Copeland made the tackle there, because otherwise he would have still been right.
Nice form tackle, too.
It was. He put his helmet right in his chest and said, sit down right here.
To the 41. Jack Samson kicks it off. Connor Hagan with a big hole, and a hole looks like the flag all the way back at the 42-yard line. So Hagan, wow, big gaping hole on the right side. It's coming back.
Wow,
big gaping hole created by a hole.
Maybe that's it. This again, you know, even though they're up by 10 points here, last time we had Spanish Fort too, they had a lot of trouble with staying within the confines of the rules. They were penalized early and often in that game. So
which is uncharacteristic of that group as well.
Usually is, but the body of work that we've seen this year, they've been penalty prone.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That was a well-designed little draw, too. I mean, had the momentum going one way, and the back comes back the opposite. You know, I tell you what.
And you know, it wasn't just a hold. It was a hold way in the backfield, because the spot fouls got you now first and forever. Samsel over the middle. He's able to get Corson Swan, and Swan up past the original line of scrimmage, and it was first and 35 there. And
with these penalties, Coach Blackman's thinking, you know, I got all these tricks up my sleeve, but you guys are holding the curtain up and showing them the tricks, and we're not getting any money at the door for them.
You're right.
You know, Dan, you in show business, you don't like that. You like to get the check after you've done your little show now, right?
They have, though. You're right. They've shown some plays that have been, like that was kind of a counter right there.
Yeah.
Counter delayed draw, and
nothing to show but it, or 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, going the other way.
50 yards and penalties so far on the Toros. And our UA Early College Game of the Week, every week here on UTV 44, is brought to you by the University of Alabama Early College.
I like how you say that, Alabama Roll Tide.
When you grow up here like
Nice
I
shot,
did, Vic,
Jim.
that's how it just rolled. Well,
That's how you roll? Go ahead and say it, Jim.
Hey, by the way, you know, with the talk about the penalties and all, and we know a lot of these referees, and we know a lot of these crews, and we chat with them before the game. And there's no way that we come into a game with the intent of bashing the refs or giving them a hard time at all. They've worked their way into the narrative in a few games this year.
Right.
But for the most part, what they do, given their time on these nights for these kids so they can play, we understand that. We
And
appreciate
they're
it.
not compensated nearly what they do.
No.
Trust me, I've got some friends that tell me.
I'm with you.
2nd and 9. Samsel over the middle, able to get it. Abrams drain, and he's going to have the first down to the 28-yard line, gain of 13, and another long injury attorney's first down.
I think they got something over the middle. I mean, Samsel has been able to find a soft spot almost every time he's looking for it, about 15 yards downfield in the middle of the field.
Well, it's just Coach Blackman. You know, he always has something drawn up that works, and that's why they're successful over there.
Abrams drain again to the 22, and part of that might be the injury to Ty Bunch. Saraland losing their starting safety.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Another timeout by Ben Blackman.
But, you know, that's good by Blackman to say, hey, he's out. Let's exploit the middle.
I agree.
I mean, it all still goes back to the credit of that staff and that group over there in Spanish Fort.
And
one
even-
thing that principal said, that is the gospel. They expect to win, and they got good coaches.
There's no doubt. And how about even when it looked like Saraland did a great job of covering things up deep down the field, the completion was made anyway.
A good look there at the stadium. If you haven't been here for a game, it's really a great experience to watch. And more of the UA Early College Game of the Week brought to you by the Sheriff's Office of Mobile and Baldwin County, and also the Drug Education Council. And they've been with us for a long time on Friday nights here on UTV 44. And we thank all three of those fine organizations for being a part of the broadcast.
You know, and I always talk about Huey Hall Smack, but Sam Cochran Gate guy, I see him at least every couple
He will
of 3
give you
weeks.
a ticket, Big Pocket.
He will not give me a ticket.
He will give you a speeding
and,
ticket.
He's a good dude. He's a good friend. I really like him.
He's been doing great law enforcement on this side of the bay for a long time.
Absolutely.
2nd and 5. Samsel looks, has all kinds of time. He's got Abrams drain over the middle. Touchdown, Toros.
There it is again.
You know, I read something about this Drain kid, and now I'm seeing it for myself. And he is a little bit of a football player, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he's going to be a big-time recruit.
Just a sophomore. They let the clock run about 6 or 7 seconds after that touchdown. But look at the time here. And there's Grant Betts keeping the pocket clean for Jack Samsel, and Abrams drain with his 6th touchdown reception of the season and 2nd one tonight in Spanish Fort. A chance to take a 17-point lead here late in the 2nd quarter.
They're going to set it up here and kick this PAT at some point. Send the ball over there in the woods, and we'll let Jim go get a few of them at halftime.
You know, I was talking to an administrator here. That is like a wetlands over there. So, I mean, how bad do you really want those balls?
I don't want it.
Yeah.
I'll buy another
Mosquitoes,
one. I go over there.
snakes.
Mosquitoes, they're cool.
Yeah. And Matthew Quinn indeed does make it 24-7. We have a chance usually to see him because he's always out one of the first players kicking before the game. So we always go over and have a little talk with him before the game. And just a really cool young man, just a junior. Again, was kicking as an 8th grader on this varsity team.
Well, and when you get here early, it's a little bit like watching a great power hitter in batting practice. You just ooh and ah.
Yeah.
And you got this slender guy. He's just a junior still. It's hard to believe he's not out of here yet.
No.
And he just puts that ball on the about as deep as the 40, which is a 50-yard kick. And he doesn't make them all, but he makes a bunch of them. It's very impressive.
We saw him make a 50-yarder against Daphne this year. Turned out to be the winning margin in that game.
Incredible.
4 plays, 41 yards. A minute 8. Abrams drain with another touchdown toss. And how good does Samsel look tonight?
Very good.
I mean,
very good at finding
Jack
that.
Samsel said, Jack who?
I'll tell you. He's done a great job of finding drain, especially in the middle of the field.
We were talking with Ben Blackman before the game, and he said, Jack has, if he can get the ball, we've got so many playmakers, get it in their hands and let them have a chance to win the football game. And that's what's been happening a whole bunch for the Toros, is Williams going to be brought down short of the 20, all the way back at the 13-yard line. And we'll see Saraland come out here for the last possession of the first half. More of our sponsors here on the University of Alabama Early College Game of the Week. Foosackly's. Could you see me eat some of those fingers before the game down there?
I missed it.
I was down there. I was hungry.
I cleaned up the rest of what you left. I'm telling you, and that was plenty. You don't eat much.
Also, Long and Long Injury Attorneys. They bring us our first down every week. Foosackly brings us food for the crew before each every game. So thanks to them. Thanks to Long and Long Injury Attorneys. Then Earl Long watching the game tonight here on UTV 44. Chris Fuchs watching the game tonight. Got a text from him watching the broadcast. And
let me check my device.
First down to the 16-yard line, and Brennan Sharp with a tackle there. And
he's got a good name, huh, Dan?
He was our guest on the pregame show a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, most spectacular first name ever. I congratulated him on that.
I mean, it's fun, you know. His parents, it was right after Dan moved here, started on KSJ. Thought I was a very big fan of KSJ. Named their son after Dan Brennan.
But to say it's not an honor, I'd be lying.
And I think Jeff Kelly just says, all right, let's go regroup here.
Yeah.
We're pinned way back deep, and it's 24-7 at the half. Spanish Fort on the road, looking to make it 7 straight here this season as they have won 6 in a row coming into tonight's game after an opening season non-region loss to McGill-Tulane. And since then, they've been rolling. And Sarah's got head coach Ben Blackman. Tara.
Coach, you said tonight was going to be a slugfest, that you had to be able to hit back. Talk about the physicality your O-line is playing with, giving Samsel the time he needs in the pocket.
Yeah, they're playing great right now. We got to continue that, though. We got to move on into the second half and finish the job. You know, we've been here before, and you know we just got to grow up, mature, play as hard as we can in the second half as we did in the first half, and come out and execute.
And defensively, you held the Spartans to just 1 score in the first half. What do you want to continue to see from your defense in the second?
To hold them to no score.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
That's blunt enough for me. I'm on the same page with him.
That is just so Ben Blackman, right?
Yeah, if you don't think you know Ben Blackman, now you do.
Give him a helmet.
At the end of the game tonight, we'll give you 3 players to vote on for your favorite player of the game. And last week, it was Michael Jefferson. And this helping Murphy come from behind to beat Theodore on the road in double overtime last week.
Great ball game.
Great win from Muskegon Barnes at Murphy High School.
A little trickery there.
This was Robinson able to get it to Jefferson, who's big, tall, and lanky, and they kind of bit on the fake there.
Yeah, just a little
they
bit.
bit on the run
just
there.
A little bit. I'm hoping we move right on from that bad defensive play.
Sold it well, and Jefferson down the other side as well. And we had a big weapon like that, able to go up and get it.
You know, Murphy's had these weapons for years and years, and looks like this year they're putting it all together on the same page.
But that kid's special, though, because of the size, 6'4", and the speed and the agility.
They've had some special athletes.
We'll give you a chance to vote on a player tonight. Brought to you by Alabama Orthopedic Clinics. We'll go to UTV44.com, and we'll have 3 choices for you, and we'll tell you next week who the player of the game was from tonight's matchup. Our halftime score, 24-7. Spanish Fort leads Saraland, and when we come back, it's the Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson halftime show, and we'll have the Spanish Fort band coming up right after this. 24-7 our score at the half. The visitors, Spanish Fort, on top of Saraland. And let's go down to the field for our Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson halftime show and listen in on the Spanish Fort band. Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson show here at the half. It's been a Toro show so far. 24-7 they lead, and let's go down and listen to the Saraland band here on our halftime show. There you see our score at the half. The home team's crowd right below us here is in Saraland. The crowd needs to get in the game and get a little more excited. They want some reason to cheer, but their team's down 24-7, and Spanish Fort's going to get the ball to start the second half. And Jack Samsel was just lights out in that first half for the Toros.
Yeah, so was Drain, too. The guy he was throwing it to a lot over the middle. And they were able to find a spot they liked, and they took advantage of it.
Yeah, and, you can't take away anything from their defense. They just show up and play just like we always see them do week to week, playing their responsibilities in real discipline.
Except in the third period against Blunt.
Toros will get the ball first, so Saraland's going to need to come up with a stop here defensively. And a high kick to the near side, and Hickson takes it at the 18, and Hickson up to the 26-yard line. Take a look at our first half. First half highlights here, and Jack Samsel over the middle. He was able to get Chris Abrams drained. That was his first score of the night. He'd had another one later in the first half. I think Samsel only had 2 incompletions. There's Jack West showing off that big arm with the touchdown there, and then coming right back were the Toros. Reeder with one of his carries for a score here tonight. He had one wiped out, and then was drained his second toss in the first half. 280 yards of total offense for Spanish Fort in the first half. And not much going here on first down for the 27. And look at Samsel, 11 for 13, $171 and 2 touchdowns in the first half, and 5 catches for 95 yards for Abrams Drain, and that's where we're at right now. And now Spanish Fort's 2nd and 8. Samson gives it off to Reeder, and Reeder is going to push the pile ahead, and he's going to have a first down. That's a long injury attorney's first down for the Spanish Fort Toros. And let's go down to Tara on the sidelines and find out what Jeff Kelly had to say coming back on the field. Tara.
Jim, Coach Kelly told me before the game that offensively, Spanish Fort has weapons all over. So I asked him how he was going to counteract that here in the second half. He says they're going to have to mix up coverages defensively and offensively. They can't score 17 points all at once. They can't panic. They have to be patient and just chip away at that lead.
Samsel is it again off to Reeder on the left side on a big hole, and Reeder will pick up 8. Where they've got Connor Hagan back there, 5'11", 175. Then they bring in Dayton Reeder, who's a bit of a different option for them. More of a speedster out of the backfield, and averages 8 yards a carry, and you can see why there.
They're just a talent-laden team. They've got options with their skilled position players, and they're maximizing their options.
Yeah, and they're maximizing because they've got an offensive line that's getting some work done tonight.
Bring Connor Hagan back in, and Hagan all the way up to the 40, gain of 12, and another long injury attorney's first down.
You talk about that offensive line there. Leading the way was big 55, Hunter Freeman again. I ran into his granddad during halftime, tells me he's only 16 years old.
Wow.
Junior. So he's just a puppy.
Put it at the 40 for the Toros. They've only punted once tonight. And Hagan with some pressure. Good job by Hagan just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Hagan must be strong lower body because he breaks a lot of tackles, and for a kid who's not that big, he does a lot of his damage between the tackles too. Right there on that time, trying to get him wide a little bit.
Yeah, that time Saraland defense played a little bit better to hold him to little or no gain. But yeah, you're right. He just gets that lean forward, Dan, and usually breaks a couple.
2nd and 10 for the Toros here. Reeder in the backfield, 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Play clock under 5, and they'll give it off to Reeder right up the middle. Again, 7 yards there on 2nd down. Bring up 3rd and short.
Again, they fold this time to left guard. Brady Wilson, big 6'2", 248-pound left guard around. Kind of influences the defensive lineman upfield, and he just traps him right there as soon as he takes a step up. He's a nice little path for the back to curve upfield.
3rd and 2 for the Toros. Hagan in the backfield. Corson Swan lines up on the far side, and now they'll bring Reeder all the way over. Still plenty of time. Play clock at 6. Sampson, time, wants to go over the middle again, looking for Drain, and there was some contact, but no flag, stride for stride, but there's one holding call against. That's an interesting dynamic here. If you're Jeff Kelly, do you back him up? You stopped him there on 3rd down, or if you decline he's going to back him up, decline the penalty in 38. You think the way they've been moving the ball, the Toros probably would have gone for it.
Yeah, and most certainly they would have, Jim.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
They've run it well enough right there. I mean, that was a shot play right there. 3rd and 2. They know they're in 4-down territory. Why not take a shot at a great athlete down the middle? That's what they did.
Cordell Flott with a good coverage. Now it turns to 3rd and 18.
Yeah, I think that was the best decision, because if they get the stop here, they're totally out of field goal range.
Sampson rolls out, wants to set up the screen back to Abrams. Drain, and Drain does make one man miss, and he'll get bumped out of bounds at the 40. And now a flag at the end of the play, and that could be very costly against Saraland. That's going to extend the drive.
You think it was roughing outside of the, late hit?
Yeah. It's going to be something, it's going to be unsportsmanlike, or defensive holding? Wow, let's see here. Usually when you see it at the end of the play over there on the boundary.
Oh, yeah, there may be a nice.
A dead ball.
Yeah, okay.
Personal foul, late hit on the defense. 15-yard penalty, results on a 1st down.
Not a whole lot to it. Just a little love tap, and his momentum kind of took him into the tackler outside of the field of play, so they decided to call it.
You got him stopped.
On the opposite side bench, too.
You're going to get your defense is going to get off the field there.
Yeah, that's a really, really rough one on Saraland.
Sampson again looking for Hickson, and it was overthrown by about a yard.
Hickson getting that separation from the defender like they do in the NFL.
Yeah, he
kind of gave him a little bit of arm bar there to say, hey, this ball's coming my way, step off.
Boy, but you like that. If you're a Spanish Ford fan, you like that. You get the 15-yard penalty, you get it up 1st down, and you go right for the touchdown. A big play right after.
Well, he's got a relay team at wide receiver.
Right.
A la Michigan.
2nd and 10 for the 27. Reeder on the left side with some blockers in front. Pushed out of bounds. Brady Wilson again out there leading the pack. Big Lockett.
Big 6'2", 248 sophomore. I'm going to get out of his way or either hit him low. Chop that tree down low at the trunk. You take him on up top, you're just going to get walloped.
Sophomores, juniors, big kids who are coming back on this offensive line.
4 minutes and counting on this drive for the Toros to open up the 2nd half. 3rd and 7. Hickson split out wide. 4 receivers here for the Toros. Sampson looking right, fires, and Abrams Drain looks like he might have kind of slipped down before the pass got there.
Yeah, he kind of, just dialed it down there because he saw the trajectory of the pass, and it was going to be right there. Just geared it down to try to make the reception, but it was going to be a tough pass. Catchable, but it was going to be tough.
This will be a 40-yard attempt here for Matt Quinn. Yeah, it looked like he just kind of lost his footing on his left foot there. And
trying to slow down for the catch.
It's a great field here, the Sport Turf Field at Saraland. So at the 40-yard attempt for Matt Quinn, 4 of 6 on the year. And now he is 5 of 7.
Plenty of distance. That one's over in the swamp.
He's in the swamp.
40-yard to go with a 50-yarder. He's nailed earlier this year, and Spanish Sport increases their lead. They're now up by 20 with 7.5 to go in the 3rd on the UTV 44 Game of the Week. Spanish Sport band. And they're team on top, 27-7. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, McLaughlin, Terry Reeves from the sideline, Jared Kihas in the truck at Mobile Regional Airport, bringing you our scoring summary. 11-play drive to go 54 yards. Had some more quick strikes tonight, but 4.5 minutes off the clock. And Matt Quinn with a 40-yard field goal. This one a very high kick. And Williams is back there, but let Hughes take it.
Matt Quinn keeps bouncing his field goals and extra points off of colonies of snapping turtles back there. I don't think those balls were coming back, man.
Jacoby Davis with the tackle on
they'll
special
have
teams.
to send some bloodhounds in there to find that football.
The sense of, get the scent of rawhide.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
And so here comes Jack West. And the Spartans down by 20 early here in the third, their first possession in the second half. Given off, trying to bounce free, and Cheney up to the 30-yard line, going to pick up 14. That's going to be a long injury attorney's first down, and Cheney been a big bright spot tonight.
Keeps
for the
his legs
Spartans.
moving, just bounces off, pinball off players, and then he says, let me get wide out here, straighten up my helmet.
Boy.
And
That
I'll
kid,
go.
He's a football player, isn't he?
He is.
Sophomore? Oof.
Good things to come.
Yeah.
The 30. Right back to him. Cheney will pick up a solid 5 here on first down before he's drugged down on the play.
Yeah, Coach
Justin
Kelly
Myers.
recognizing he's got plenty of time. He's got time to run the football. Just play his game, play his play, call the plays that he had, strategize for the game, and just keep chopping wood.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way. I mean, don't abandon the run. Not here in the third quarter.
No, it's not time. It's not where they love to say it's a one-possession game. Overused phrase I hear a lot on television.
Carlos Johnson comes in. Destin Myers heads off, and now they're going to do a little trickeration. They want to pitch it all the way back to West, and West now tries to pitch it forward, and that's going to be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, he was thinking about going to his running back, but his running back will say, let me come back here and help you block.
Well, look,
and he wasn't expecting the football.
Yeah, the running back was trying to take care of the guy we talked about in pregame, and that would be Peyton Tyson. Was coming off the edge, and he was smelling everything out.
There was a lot going on there.
Yeah.
And by the way, the deep pass that West was hoping to capitalize on was covered.
Wow.
Yeah, they had a guy running free with the post.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remain second down.
But that high safety was doing his job for Spanish Fort to take that away, which is why Jack tried to make something out of it by pitching it to the back down below.
All that 5-yard illegal formation penalty will make it 2nd and 10.
Another magic trick exposed, right?
Yeah.
With nothing to show for it.
Yeah, the curtain was up, and we saw what was behind it.
West is the near side, and Jay Williams with not much there picks up 5. Bring up 3rd and 5 here for the Spartans. Really haven't seen many downfield shots tonight from Jack West.
No, and I don't know if that's got to do with the concern with protection or what, but he sure looks pretty on everything he throws.
And there's no doubt there's a lot of talent right there. It's a lot of in that 12 jersey.
3rd and 5. West looks, now he wants to go for Taylor, and that one dropped. A chance over there in the coverage. Xavier Love, the sophomore.
Yeah, he was trying to make one of those very, very difficult passes there, which we've seen him do it before. Drop it in the bucket, but that time didn't put enough under and enough air, as the buzz phrase likes to say these days.
Yep. Love back there with the coverage on Taylor.
And it wasn't all out, but they did bring some pressure off the right side to come after West.
Well, if they're smart, I would not let him
Now
sit
they're going to
back
go for a
there either.
fake. They pitch up the near side and try to turn the corner, and he's going to be short.
Wow.
Yeah, Trenton Brennan, the backup quarterback, was the up man. They needed to get 5, and he got 4.
I think the tricks are out the door, Dan. I mean, the curtain's completely up and staying up, and nobody's getting paid after the show.
Well, and this is what 27-7 will get you thinking about, right? What can we do? How can we do it? How quickly can we get back in this game? They gave up the long.
You could bet those Spanish Fort coaches were yelling, watch the fake, watch the fake, watch the fake. You know, you're 4th and 5, and they get 4, but it's a turnover.
You know, they gave up the long drive to Spanish Fort to start this half, and at some point you get a little antsy.
Samsel rolls out, fires, and Drain, I'm not sure, was quite expecting the pass to be there and was double covered. And let's go down on the field. Tara's got another one of our educator spotlights from Coastal Alabama Community College. Tara.
I sure do, Jim. And this woman is actually very special to me. Of course, she's the principal here at Saraland High School, but she was my principal when I was at Spanish Fort. So she's done a great job of really building up the Spanish Fort program. Now she's here at Saraland, and she also started another incredible program. There was a special tailgate with Project Outreach, which you also helped start while you were at Spanish Fort.
I did, and it was a we thing for sure at Spanish Fort. It's Project Outreach, recognizing that we all have differences and making sure the students are aware of what those differences mean, educating our students to work together, love one another, and be there for each other. The tailgating this evening was incredible. Activities for the kids, pizza for everyone to eat, and being able to see the Toros and the Spartans come together. We're rivals on the field, but that is a time where students really mesh and come together, and it doesn't matter whether or not you're a Toro or a Spartan, just recognizing and caring about each other.
Thank you so much. We're actually going to toss it back up to Jim. We're going to be back because she has more about what's going on academically at Saraland. Jim?
More points for the Toros. Dayton Reeder, his second touchdown of the night. That a 38-yard scamper. And Matthew Quinn is good, and the lead is widening now 34-7. And
it's all that good blocking that we've been talking about up front.
Yeah,
it is.
Reeder didn't have to work that hard to bust many tackles, goes in for the score, and now a 34-7 lead for the Toros. Let's go back down to Tara to finish up with Principal Spondike.
Thank you so much, Jim. Back with Beverly Spondike, of course, principal here at Saraland High School. And you have actually something very interesting. Of course, we strive for academic success. At Saraland, you guys are offering something for free, ACT Boot Camp. How is that possible?
Well, the seniors came to us at the beginning of the year, and some of the senior teachers, and they said, you know, the expense of going to the boot camps at the universities and that is very expensive. They want to improve their scores, want to do better to be able to have more opportunities at colleges and universities and scholarship opportunities. So we put our heads together and we decided, all right, which teachers are interested, who's highly qualified in the areas, and through my local funds, I'm able to provide and pay the teachers for doing this. It's going to be a 4.5 hour. The students, the cost is free to them, and we're really excited. And tomorrow's our first one on Saturday. We'll have 82 students, and our next one's going to be December 2nd. So we're proud that we're able to offer that, and we care about the students, and we want to offer them every opportunity.
That's such an incredible opportunity. And then lastly, let's talk about the YMCA mock trials. You were telling me about this briefly. It sounds extremely interesting for your students as well.
And we had to actually have a contest for it because we have juniors and seniors that were interested in debating. You know, everyone likes to argue, but this is a judicial way of arguing. The YMCA sponsors this throughout the state, and they're going to go to Montgomery here this next week, and they're going to compete. And they sound like attorneys, I promise you, because they've had some practice. We've even had a guest attorney come in and give them some tips. So they'll have different prompts, and they'll be debating those things. So it's our first time competing, so we're very excited. So we have a group of juniors and seniors going.
Thank you so much. Back up to you, Jim.
All right, thanks, Tara. And had an injured Spanish Fort Toro down there. It might have been the flag. I'm not sure. Flag was thrown right there. That's Braden Moore.
Yeah, let's pray he's A-okay. He's a little slow to get up.
Oh, blindside hit. Put on him there. Was not expecting that hit. Yeah, that's going to be called every time.
And those are more damaging than anything because you don't tense up when you don't expect a hit, and it catches you off guard, and they're painful. I can tell you, I've suffered a couple of those.
Yeah, I bet you did. And that young guy
Thank God he's up.
Yeah, he just got to kind of gather his wits. And
hopefully he'll get a little power and get back in the game.
Yeah, they'll live out. But, you know, that's, I think, a huge difference where we see the sport now is like he'll be very much evaluated over there and not just, you know, told to get some power and get back on the field. That's not going to be the case.
Well, let's hope he's okay enough to do that.
Old school Lockett over here. Wants him out there on the next snap. But
if he's okay.
The fact is you're up 34-7 and maybe give some other folks a chance to play where he might.
As Coach Stalin would say, hey, he's not ready to play till the doctor's ready to play, man. Then we put him back out there.
34-7, and Spanish Fort to the penalty, pins Saraland all the way back at the 7-yard line. And Carlos Johnson with the tackle.
Vic Lockett not in attendance at the Tide's 25th anniversary.
I mean, there was some talk about.
Well, I had to work with you guys Friday night.
Well, and I thought
you didn't give me your jet to go up there.
The rumor was he went to Baton Rouge for the Auburn game.
Yeah, right.
Kick him out of the Red Elephant Club. Toot sweet.
Absolutely
not.
The
other rumor I heard was his behavior at the last reunion is why he was not invited back.
Invitation revoked, huh?
That's right.
Not our Victor.
2nd and 9. West zips it up to the 35. He's able to get a completion up to the 30, should say, to the 33-yard line. That's Dylan Blaylock, his first catch tonight. And first real downfield shot we've seen West be able to complete.
Absolutely, yeah. They give him opportunity to go downfield. He can do it, and that is an example of it right there.
Well, just watch this, right, Vic? Tell us what we see.
Yeah, kid's running the slant. He gets it up over the linebacker who's extended high trying to knock it down, but that ball's coming with some hum on it.
Yes, he was.
Long injury attorneys first down, and West trying to scramble away from Carlos Johnson and then heaves it up and almost into the crowd. Does make it to the crowd.
Yeah, somebody's got a nice super.
Coach Powell, we saw him last year against St. Paul's. Was it St. Paul's? Viger, that's right. Samson make it West trying to go up top and complete to Jay Williams.
The other Jack.
And Coach Powell just lastly lives up in Jackson and says that he records the UTV 44 game of the week every week and then goes back and watches it on Sunday afternoon. So if you're watching Coach Powell, glad you'd be part of our trivia question tonight.
You know, I run into a lot of guys do that.
Yeah, that's great. And, well, I say great compliment to us. It should be a great compliment to the crew, obviously, and also the kids who play, yeah.
To allow the outside receiver to catch it, and they have threw him off.
Yeah, Hughes was over there with Blaylock, and Blaylock getting more playing time now with the injury to Booth. And this one is just kind of come off the wheels a bit here for the Spartans.
You know what, from what we saw of Booth in that Blunt game, that was a big loss losing that kid because he is just a heck of a competitor and a really good receiver for Jack West.
3rd and 10, and they give it off to the 40-yard line. That's Jalen Pugh.
He stuck his foot in the ground and got all he could out of that thing, but this is going to bring up the 4th down play.
Yeah, Kerry White hasn't really run the ball much here tonight.
No, he has not.
He's their leading rusher coming into tonight's game, and 4th and 2 up.
They're going to go?
40, I think.
Well, it appears they are.
Might have to go here.
They're taking a timeout to think it over.
Taking a timeout to get the right play, be my guess. I don't think there's any turning back.
Yeah, they got Xavier Love. I think that the official may have called this because he's calling out
one of the players a little wobbly.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what the situation is, but they were calling for the coaches to come get Xavier Love.
So no timeouts lost by either team, huh?
Yeah. I'm not sure what the injury to Love was there.
Well, that's good by the refs to take care of the kids, and if they're not 100%, yeah, let's get them looked at by the doctors, get them some power, and get them back in the game.
Yeah, there you go.
But we're gonna put them in there when the doctor says they're okay.
I got you, Coach.
4th and 2, and the Spartans, well, you're not going to get the ball back that many more times, even though it's 2:45 to go in the 3rd. And you haven't slowed down the Toro offense. West steps up, throws, looks, flips it down the near side, and it's incomplete. nothing there for the.
Yeah, I think he had him early. He just didn't turn it loose to me.
Yeah, he had Peyton Tyson there early as well, chasing him.
Yeah, you could see what the play was all about. It looked like Taylor. It was going to be Taylor who was in motion.
And a quick out, too.
Quick out. And, I don't know if Taylor's pattern was.
It wasn't sharp, but
right.
I thought it was enough for him to get it in there, and he just didn't feel good about it.
I think that was part of the problem right there.
Let's go now and get a quick injury update from Tara.
According to the trainer, Braden Moore suffered nothing but just the wind knocked out of him. Of course, you saw the bloody lip. They've got some ice on that, but the trainer did also inform me he's just going to sit the rest of this game out on the trainer's table. Nothing serious, though.
Oh, good to report. And now great field position. And as Spanish Sport has had it all night, Reeder will start on the positive side of the 50 down at the 40-yard line. I mean, field's been tilted the entire evening for the Toros.
Yeah, a lot of that's had to do with this Spanish Fort defense too. And they've just played really, really well. And when they got the ball, they've been pretty much naming their play, naming their score.
Well, you hit it right on the head. The Spanish Fort defense is giving the offense the opportunities with the football.
Yep.
I would imagine time of possession is totally lopsided toward Spanish Fort.
Samsel, pressure this time, and they're going to get to him and bring him down. All the way back at the 42-yard line. Cole Dewitt in there. He's going to get credited with his 4th sack.
And that's not a bad sack by Samsel there. There's nothing there. You're in control of the game. No need to give him momentum to the home team. Sometimes the defense wins. You take a sack.
Yeah, kind of surprised they were able to win right there because it looked like a running down time and score would indicate they were about to run the ball there. But
Cheney was the first one down low, and then
they were ready.
Cole Dewitt up top. Cheney playing all over the football field tonight for Saraland. Low snap, Samsel on the screen. Hagan
nice
be
job
dropped by guess who? Yeah, Adam Cheney.
Wow.
Yeah, he sniffed that one out and got right to him.
Hope he's okay.
Yeah, he's a little bit slow to get up there. Someone is.
Yeah, he's over there on the Spanish Fort sideline.
Coaches go all the way across the field and then medical staff to check him out.
You forget sometimes you got a winner and a loser, but oftentimes you've got kids on the losing side of the game that have had great games.
Yeah. Oh, it happens all the time.
And
on all levels.
This kid's had a great game.
Yeah, we might see him at the end of the game tonight with a player to vote on for player of the game.
He's been outstanding, really outstanding, really a lot of talent and really likes to compete.
Playing on both sides of the ball could be a factor in contributing to this too. Because you start expending a whole lot more energy, and no matter how good a condition you're in, sometimes it just catches up with you.
The rare Toro punt coming up here. Jay Williams will stand at the 10. Low snap, but Pat Quinn booms this one to the 2, and Williams grabs it. And it'll be at the 5, and again, terrible field position here.
Yeah, this is one of those times that Coach Kelly will use that as a coaching point. You like to let that one just pop in the end zone and take your chances from the pouncing in there and get them from the 20.
Well, sometimes you see stuff like that, you just don't know how it happens. Certainly in the moment, a 16-year-old kid can do whatever, but
and they're going to do whatever.
If your feet are planted on the 5 and you've got to retreat a little bit for the punt,
you're supposed to not retreat and let it go, right? And they probably told him that.
Yeah.
Like you said, in the moment.
Yeah.
That's why they're 16 years old.
Right.
I can conquer the world.
But that's the worst thing he does at 16.
We're good.
He's doing all right.
We're good. Doing all right.
31 seconds to go in the 3rd, and pinned back at the 6. Wow, Kerry White up to the 11. He'll pick up 5.
Talk about coming through the hole with some authority. Like, look out. I am coming through here. I don't think he said excuse me either.
I don't think so. I got that.
He's a polite young man off the field, but
no need. Watch this run.
Yeah.
Wow.
Coming through. Excuse me. Pardon me.
Spartans will just let the clock run out here to close out the third, and we'll go to the other end to start up the fourth. Spanish Fort continues their big roll, looking to make it 7 in a row after losing week 1 and looking to stay perfect in the region. They lead it 34-7. Fourth quarter coming up after this on the UTV 44 Game of the Week. Ready to start the fourth quarter here in Saraland. Spanish Fort a commanding 34-7 lead. Spartans backed up deep, thrown in at the 11. And going to get, depending on the spot here, he's going to be close. And he's got big montage Cooks laying on top of you here. And it's going to be good for a long and long.
Sticks, huh?
Injury attorneys first down. Hey, update you on some other scores. How about Daphne on the road, leading Blunt 24-3. That defense has been lights out all year.
Defense travels.
Yeah, absolutely.
They continue to do it. St. Paul's leading Viger 20-13 in the 5A battle just down the road here. Bouncing to the outside. Cheney pushed out of bounds at the 22, and
I think he's going to get a
face
flag
mask.
Yep.
Grabbing the face mask. Tried the
and
straight arm.
They rarely calls that on the offense, but it looked like Scooter going to get him this time.
Yeah, he got it. He got the face mask. Watch coming right.
Wasn't a clean handoff there, or securing of the handoff, I should say. Yeah, I'd like to see that call more often on these backs. It is definitely an advantage.
You know, I think
it looks dangerous.
Might have been at the very end too, with the kind of the
yank down.
Yeah, the yank at the end, right?
Vic would like to see that called more. What side of the ball did you play on again?
Defense.
Personal foul.
I want to call every
Face mask
time.
on the offense. After this is a go, replay first down.
Yeah, that's the 15-yarder. Well, it'll be half the distance. Another score to pass along. Big game in 4A tonight. UMS Wright leading Thomasville 28-20.
Tussle going on there
on Old Shell Road.
Bulldogs and the Bulldogs.
Yeah,
right?
they Thomasville and UMS. They've had a few big games over the
two proud
years.
programs.
We've done a lot of those on UTV 44.
Mm-hmm.
First and 13. Trying to bounce it out to the near side and across the 20 to about the 22-yard line goes Cheney.
Jim still lobbying the suits to do a UMS Thomasville game in Thomasville.
We've been there in the playoffs years and years. Were you with us then, Vic?
No.
We hadn't made the big free agent acquisition by that point to bring in Lockett. Yeah,
hadn't had an opportunity to shoot a deer on the way back.
No, I think we were in Thomasville actually the day after Thanksgiving, maybe one time for a semifinal matchup, I think.
I think you're right.
It'd be hard for me to make that after the turkey I put down.
I remember one of our crew members drove a potato chip route and showed up at the game in his potato chip truck.
Wow.
And I remember that as the give to Cheney up the middle. No, that's going to be Kerry White to the 40-yard line. Gain of 17. Another long injury attorney's first down. The
Coach
crew ain't
Kelly
well
not abandoning that run, is he?
No, he's not. And with some success on that one, like a trap right up the middle. Yep, it was, and
influenced that defender upfield, and he barely has to block him once he's trapped like that.
That was a rude hit at the end, of course, and that was Peyton Tyson again.
To the 46-yard line, gain of 4 on first down for the Spartans.
I think I'm going to attend my first lacrosse match.
Just to see him,
ever.
Huh?
Yeah, I hear he's really good. And I know his mom and dad, I just never put it together that was him.
And you met him as a youngster, right?
I met him, he was probably, 6th grade, somewhere around there. Dad's, I think, was in the Army, and they moved around a little bit.
2nd and 6. West looking to air it out up top as he wants to get that one off to Williams, and it's overthrown and intercepted. Coming up with the pick is DJ James.
Yeah, safety just sat right there on that route there and played it deep and to the outside. And I thought he missed it because he got up patting the ground as if he had missed it, but he did.
Now, does Williams, does he see this ball? Oh, no,
yeah,
it's just
he's reading it in. Yeah, he read that all the way.
You're right. Williams had no shot at it.
James, who had 6 interceptions as a sophomore.
And, there again, you would think that would have caught Spanish Fort off guard.
Right.
Their guys right on it, huh?
Yeah, how about that? Good point.
Good coaching. These guys just, like you said, defense travels. They spend a lot of time getting these guys ready and repping them, and they're ready on Friday nights.
Come around the near side, give this one off to Finn Heath, his first carry, first touch tonight for the junior.
Going a little deeper on the chart now, and then we're going to see a heavy dose of rushing the football from Spanish Fort, we would suspect anyway.
Man still going strong.
9.5 to go. Heath will come in motion. Instead, they give it off Hagan. He's going to be to the 23. That'll be good for another long. Injury attorneys, first down.
Well, this team's pretty good, Spanish Fort, obviously, and I don't think they knew exactly what they had at the beginning of the season. I don't think they were sandbagging or anything like that. But as some of these young skill guys have developed, Samsel looks like he's gotten very comfortable.
Yep.
Offensive line blocks well enough, and the defense is solid. You wonder, what can they do in the playoffs?
Well, I think it's one of those things, and I hate to give Belichick credit, but he's one of the greatest of all time. If you really listen when he does talk, he says this, in the beginning of the year about the Patriots. They all trying to heap on accolades, but he'll say, we still trying to figure out what kind of football team we are and what we are and get our pieces in place. And then, by the end of the year, they're at the top of the heap and they're playing good football because
they figured it out.
Yeah. Tyler Hagan across midfield and all the way down to the 35-yard line.
And, to finish the point, that's true on all levels. I don't care where you are. You get all the kids on the bus, but sometimes you got to switch the seats. And you get the seats switched up, and, you get this player playing here because he's got a better talent there, and you move this one there. Sometimes you may have to take a kid off the field or play off the field, but by the end or mid-season, you finally got the cake going, you can have a mix.
You see it a lot in high school. You see it a whole lot in high school.
Absolutely.
33 yards on first down for Hagan, a long injury attorney's first down. And, we've mentioned it a few Toro games we've done this year, and it was that Daphne game in week 2. Ben Blackman told us on the field, he said, we could sneak one out here tonight. He said, we're going to have a chance to have something going by the time October, November
there you go.
rolls around.
That's the follow-up to what I was going to say, or finish up. These guys figure it out after about the 6th or 5th game. And a team like Spanish Fort, they're aiming towards the playoff and going deep in the playoffs. They're getting their team set for that.
Expectation doesn't change. And, we say the expectation doesn't change for the players. That's going to be another long injury attorney's first down because that's what you've just learned to do in a short time in Spanish Fort. But for Ben Blackman, the coach, the expectation doesn't change from your fan base either. Well, they expect big things from everyone over there.
And here at Saraland, and you might say, okay, this is happening for Spanish Fort. What happened to Saraland? Factor this in. Injuries.
Yep.
A bunch of big injuries for this Saraland team. They didn't have the chance to get better as the year went on.
Take some steps back just because folks are not out there on the field.
Orson Swan with a catch from Samsel, and Swan inside the 10, and he's going to be down to the 3 and a couple of flags back at the 13-yard line. Going to be a hold against the Toros.
They're going to take a step back on this.
Yeah, they'll still get the first down, but then it depends on, it's going to be close on where that spot foul is.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
That's a good point you bring up, Dan. You flipped it over here to focus on Saraland. Yeah, you gotta have the good fortune, too, to have some healthy players stay with you the whole year. Unless you just got depth. And most programs don't have that great depth.
In high school, there's a reason one guy's a 1 and another guy's a 2. It could be age, it could be skill.
And the drop-off can be dramatic between 1 and 2.
It really can be.
Samsel pitches this off to Hagan.
I don't think fans give that enough consideration when they're evaluating their own team because they're so invested in it emotionally. And maybe they think the second guy, they saw him play in 6th grade and he was really good then, which it's not the same. So it's something that's not spoken about very often, but I think it, in the fairness, if you're going to evaluate a team in a program, you've got to factor that in.
Yeah, people just don't know the sacrifice these kids go through summer and fall and then through the week. The sacrifice of out here practicing over and over to give
there are
you
2 dead ball penalties on the defense. Half the distance to go, 2 times.
Wow. Give you this product that we're able to enjoy on Friday night.
And you're talking about fans and watching and the one thing I think we all maybe forget about is like the coaches see practice every week, so they see way more than NFL, college, whatever. You're watching it. Why is that? Well,
there's a
reason. Pretty smart guys. They know what's going on.
There's a reason
during the week.
Yeah, and that's another excellent point, Jim, that we can piggyback off that is we've got a lot of teams in this area that've got great coaching staffs. A lot of solid eyes on the kids, on the opponent.
1st and goal, long injury attorneys. 1st and goal here for the Toros. Samsel gives it off. Hagan on the right side. And now after the 2 flags for unsportsmanlike, 2 different flags against the Toros, now against the Spartans. Now this one comes in the middle of the line, and it'll be a holding call. Like more holding than you usually see against a Spanish Fort team here tonight.
Well, more penalties we would say, except
holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
It's the 2nd straight game that we've seen Spanish Fort and their offense really light it up, over 50 against Blunt. They've got a shot at plus 40 here tonight, and at the same time, they've held themselves back with a lot of penalties.
And uncharacteristic of a group that Coach Blackman's coached, because we've seen them, and they're usually pretty crisp and penalty-free.
Daniel Hicks, our statistician, pointing out that's their 5th holding call tonight. Wow. Ben Blackman, offensive guy, he will not.
He's got something to get on the stump about.
That'll get called up in the film room as well. As now Samsel looking for the right corner, fires it up, and incomplete as he was looking to go to Caleb Purdy, the sophomore there. Purdy, 6'4", 173 sophomore.
He's Purdy.
More coming. More coming for the Toros.
He's namesake, huh?
Yeah, he is.
Trying to update you. Some other scores here. 21-20. Viger has taken the lead over St. Paul's in the 4th quarter.
Wow. What a resurgence by those Viger Wolves. I'd almost put him out to die in the woods.
2nd and goal from the 15. Spinning now down inside the 10. Connor Hagan pick up 6 and now flag at the end of the play. And now one of the.
I think there's going to be some extracurricular stuff there.
Yeah, then somebody kicked the flag as well. And it wasn't Matthew Quinn that did it.
Let's hope the emotions can stay intact.
After the play, unsportsmanlike penalty on the offense.
Wow.
15-yard penalty, it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, Coach Blackman is going to be really hot. He's, even though the score is showing a dominant performance, but he's going to want to clean this up because he knows in the playoff, this kind of stuff can get you beat.
Oh, and I think you see a veteran officiating crew as well that maybe being a little quicker to call the unsportsmanlike because the game's a little out of hand, 6 minutes to go, and say, hey, let's just nip anything before things get out of hand here. Not saying they would, but it's usually a crew that sees what's going on and says, all right, we're going to dial it back a bit.
Billy's crew's been busy tonight, but I think they've been fair.
Yep. 10 penalties now against Spanish Fort. Samsel going to be hit by Cole Dewitt.
What a play by Dewitt.
Wow, no given. That young man is.
Yeah, he may have had one receiver open, but the other 2 main targets were covered completely.
Dewitt,
and that's another good sack by him. Hey, don't turn it over and give the momentum over here to Saraland.
See if it doesn't look like Dewitt's being held too. Maybe he was doing the holding.
Yeah.
I'll take that back. But That kid, when you see a kid compete like that.
Look at this. Look at a 52-yard field goal attempt here for Matt Quinn.
What do you got to lose?
You've seen him.
A little highlight reel action for the kicker who's given you all these great years of.
The junior with the kick, and it's going to go just wide right.
A little short of the swamp there.
The penalties back him up, and they try the long field goal, but he's got the leg. We know that. And stays 34-7 with less than 5 to go.
By the way, one of the sponsors for high school football in UTV 44 is Thyroid Cadell Law Offices. And personal injury, car accidents, slip and fall accidents, Social Security concerns, workers' comp, including shipyard injuries. They can do all that. Thyroid Cadell Law Offices, and we thank them so much for their sponsorship of what we do on Friday nights.
Spartans come back out here at their own 35. Make it their own 20. Sometimes the play-by-play guy just looks at the scoreboard and says 35. All right, here we go. So what coach has won the most games in a 10-year span in Alabama high school history? Any guesses?
I'd say Terry Curtis. Maybe been a couple.
That'd be my guess.
Each going with TC. No, it's not Terry Curtis.
Wow.
Danny Powell, 126 wins. He was at Leroy, won 66-7.
That's right. He did have a couple of good stints, didn't he?
Yeah, then at Jackson, 60-7. I'm going to tell you about that stat a little bit, or trivia question a little bit more, as West flips this one out of the backfield, and Jalen Pugh knocked out of bounds at the 30. So second on that list, Rush Probst, with the 1 year he had down at Allen O'Brien, and then 9 following up at Hoover. But then you've got Josh Niblett. If he wins 9 games this year, he will surpass Danny Powell for the most coaches. He's 6-1. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's 6-1 right now, and long injury attorney first down. So, and that's always the 10th year falls off and the new year comes on. So, but Danny Powell with a great run up there at Leroy and Jackson. It was a bit of a brouhaha when he left and made the change up there.
Yeah, and feelings are hurt a little bit. His son, right, is the basketball coach at Spanish Fort.
Yep, and his team playing Davidson right now. Coach Powell, we saw him last year against St. Paul's. Was it St. Paul's? Viger, that's right. Samson make it West trying to go up top and complete to Jay Williams.
The other Jack.
And Coach Powell just lastly lives up in Jackson and says that he records the UTV 44 game of the week every week and then goes back and watches it on Sunday afternoon. So if you're watching Coach Powell, glad you'd be part of our trivia question tonight.
I run into a lot of guys do that.
Yeah, that's great. And well, I say great compliment to us. It should be a great compliment to the crew, obviously, and also the kids who play. Yeah.
There's a chance he turns the sound down. There's a chance. 2nd and 10. Gary White.
Well, a guy like him turning the sound down, I'm not going to feel bad about it because he's seen more football than I'll probably ever see in a lifetime.
Getting back into coaching baseball, too, I believe.
Well, he won state championships in baseball.
Did he really? Yeah. Wow.
Third down.
Multi-sport coach, huh?
Yep, just coach.
He sleeps with a whistle around his neck.
3rd and 7. Easy with 10 ticks plus 3 minutes to go in this one. West steps up in the pocket, looks. Now he's going to be hit and dropped short of midfield. And guess who's there, Dan? Peyton Tyson.
No give up in him. He's just wired the Spanish Fort way. Number 15, that big kid right there on your screen who's got 6'2", 200, and this is his first year of varsity football. If you missed the story that we talked about earlier, but he's one of the best lacrosse players anywhere in South Alabama. And you can see he's just really a good athlete, Vic.
Yeah. I just wouldn't want to be out there with him with a stick. I'll take my chances with a helmet.
4th and 3. And Saraland, as we approach 2 minutes to go, we'll just go for it here at the 49. West quickly to the near side, gets it off to Hughes, and Hughes slips a tackle, and he's going to have the 4th down conversion. A long and long injury attorney's first down for Saraland.
Yeah, they stick with that tunnel screen. That time it was a little successful. Running back, wide receiver looks like a man among the trees there because there was all kind of traffic around him. Did a good job to get that ball ahead of the sticks there and give his team a chance to get another fresh set of downs.
Got a good block on the outside too.
Absolutely.
You know, talked about so much of this Spanish Fort offense and what they do and the great mastermind they have over that, and we just sometimes don't talk about this defense and just how great they have played this year. And you don't win championships without great defenses.
Absolutely. I'm proud to hear you say that, Jim.
Yeah,
I know you love that offense.
But they have really dialed it up again this year. And it's not just schematically, it's not that compete level that, again, you just can't always coach that into kids. They just gotta have it, and those Toro kids have it when they walk on the field.
See it every week when we're out there.
Yep.
And listen right here. It's the 4th quarter, under 2 minutes, game in hand. Pads are popping.
Yep. A minute to go, and this one will soon be over. And Saraland going to fall to 6-3 on the year, 4-3 in the region, and Spanish Fort going to be 6-0 in the region. And still have,
that sets them on top of the region.
Yeah,
right?
they got 2 region games left, but you like their chances there. Going to make it 7 straight wins. Kerry White get a first down to the 35. A long and long injury attorney's first down. And
a lot of fun seeing him come at you, huh?
Again, he's just a junior, 5'10", 220. Saw him some in the Blunt game that we did here on UTV 44. Next week, we've got McGill and Theodore. Theodore trying to hang on to their playoff hopes. They got a win last night. We'll be back at the lip as Jacob Davis, the sophomore, makes the tackle.
That might be it right there,
yeah,
Jim.
that's not going to snap it again.
So, well, this one's in the books here, and
yeah, Jeff Kelly had started.
Great fight by the Saraland guys, but just a little bit short tonight.
Yeah, Jeff Kelly had just started the walkout there, saying, hey, this one is...
Don't want to get anybody hurt, doing anything silly.
So, Spanish Fort 34-7. Continue their winning ways. 7-game winning streak, and impressive road win here in the region. They remain perfect on the road and on the region this year. And Ben Blackman got his wish when he told Terry. Defense held him to 0 in the second half.
They did not give him a score. And love to see this good sportsmanship out of both teams. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose, and still show good sportsmanship, shake each other's hand, and say, hey, we'll get you next time, we'll get you next year.
Remember the Spanish Fort coaching staff's little boy I know is watching at home right now.
Yeah, Coach Betzel's son is watching.
He said, I'll just stay home, Daddy.
And watch it on UTV 44.
Yeah, how cool is that? We both had a chance to meet that young guy, too. Really great kid.
Met him at the Spanish Fort fishing tournament. They have an Education Enrichment Foundation. There's a little fishing tournament coming up in November. I met him there last year.
Well, that's just what Savary's talking about, huh?
What?
I have to get you riled up, Jim.
I can't show up at a fishing tournament?
No, you missed again. The kid stayed home watch
it on TV.
Yeah, he didn't spend
he doesn't buy. He's a coach, and doesn't buy a ticket. Doesn't hurt the gate.
Well, he may have to. He saves up his money in his piggy bank, and he say, hey, I'll keep my $5.
What team are you on here, Lockett? Team Cox, Team Savary's. One of the two on the playoff games being live on TV.
Almost made it through a whole game with it.
Yeah, all right.
I have to rile Jim.
Yeah, Tara is down on the sideline. She is with the victorious head coach of the Toros. Tara.
You told me after the Daphne win that Spanish Fort always goes in knowing that they're going to win the game. How good does tonight's win feel, continuing your undefeated streak in region play?
Yeah, you know, we feel good about it. You know, Saraland's got a good football team. They've had a rash of injuries, and, you know, they've battled those adversities, and, you know, hats off to them. They kept playing hard all the way through, and I'm very, very proud of my guys and the way they, you know, they handled it, and it came in and they prepared all week, you know, and they got themselves ready to play, and then they showed up on Friday night, and that's what we asked them to do. So very proud of them.
And at halftime, you told me defensively you wanted your guys to hold Saraland scoreless in the second half. They answered. How did they do it?
Very, very proud. I mean, I'm very proud of our defense. You know, they did it by tackling. They did it by, you know, running to the ball, playing good deal, you know, stopping the run. I mean, so we were very proud of them.
And Jack, you guys have now scored 34 or more points in the past 6 games. What is it that allows you to be so productive week after week?
I think, you know, we always have a good game plan going into the game, and, you know, we just execute. You know, everybody, all the coaches get our players in the right spot and make the right plays, and we just focus on one play at a time and just work on what we're doing, I guess. I don't know.
And DJ, defensively tonight, you were going up against Stanford commit and Jack West. How are you able to limit the Spartans to just 1 score tonight?
I just play my game as my coaches teach me. They teach me everything. I just thank the coaches.
And you also picked off that Stanford commit. What was going through your mind as you saw it coming your way?
I was like, oh my God, he's really testing me. Like, it was a surprise.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Derek. Congratulations to the Toros. They win it tonight 34-7. Jay James had the pick. We'll come back, wrap things up from Saraland, where Spanish Fort makes it 7 in a row with a road victory here tonight. Final score here, 34-7 tonight. Spanish Fort with an impressive victory on the road. They beat Saraland. The Toros now 7-1 on the year, 7 straight wins. Hey, want to make sure we get in our Scholastic athletes of the evening here from Spanish Fort. Nicholas Ochoa, 4.32 GPA, 33 on the ACT, and swimming ranked number 2 in a class of 267 National Honor Society. And also is going to go to Auburn and chemical engineering as Nicholas's future path. So congratulations to him. And on the Saraland side, one of our Scholastic athletes, also Kelly Kennedy Gill, Azalea Trailmaid, not just a 4.66, but she's also a member of the Azalea Trailmaids, 30 on the ACT, a cheerleader, and also plays golf, ranked number 1 in her class here at Saraland. And honors program and English Award, National Honor Society as well, an All-American cheerleader, and she too is going to Auburn or maybe Vanderbilt, Vic. She made
that would be a smarter decision.
Oh, come on, Vic. Biomed sciences.
She's a smart young lady.
That's her. That's what she's going to major in, and congratulations to our Scholastic Student Athletes of the Week. And so, again, our final score 34-7 here tonight. Really a big, impressive road win for the Toros.
Yeah, they looked solid.
They were lights out, kind of like me right now.
Yeah, there we go. They were solid every which way you would measure a football team. Few penalties again. Seemed they
more than they're comfortable.
Yeah,
with.
They want to clean that up, but otherwise ran it well. Sample made some big plays down the field, and that defense.
Well, the defense was great, but Sample, I got to give credit to him. You know, he said Jack, who is Jack Sample, he took care of the football, took the sacks when he had to keep his team in, you know, out of peril. And the defense, it travels. We talk about it all the time. They played lights out. They only gave up 1 touchdown to the Spartans.
Alabama Orthopedic Clinic Player of the Game nominations: Jack Samsel, Dayton Reeder from the Spanish Fort Toros, along with Samsel, and Adam Cheney, who played great at running back tonight and also great at linebacker for the Saraland Spartans. So you can go to utv44.com and click on sports and select Game of the Week to vote for the Alabama Orthopedic Clinic Player of the Week. Our final score here tonight, 34-7. Spanish Fort with the win. Next week, we're back at McGill for a 7A matchup. Theodore and McGill on UTV 44. So for Jared Kihas in the truck, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Daniel Hicks, our statistician, Vic Lockett, Dan Brennan, I'm Jim Cox saying good night from Saraland, where Spanish Fort continues to roll. It's now 7 straight for the Toros with a road win tonight, 34-7.